far as micro brands go, there are very few that are instantly recognizable. Today we're going to take a look at Unimatic. They came out in 2015 and their brand DNA has been strong ever since their inception. People immediately know that you have a Unimatic on your wrist. They are wildly popular with collectors. They've come out with dozens of limited editions and usually those sell out. Today we're going to take a look at their chronograph. This is from their classic line. Let's flip the camera and take a look at the Unimatic UC3. So I am very excited to finally be able to feature a Unimatic here on my channel. I have Huckberry to thank for this. Huckberry.com have lent me this watch in for review. There is a link down in the description if you are interested in Unimatic or any of the watches that they sell. They have plenty of watches there, EDC items like knives and flashlights, and they also have clothing. They're sort of a lifestyle website. Definitely check them out. I will put a link down in the description. They have some awesome stuff for sale, so check out their website. So Unimatic, you can see it comes in a waterproof case. This is pretty much a genuine waterproof case. It is really robust and heavy. It has a really tight locking system. I actually have it unlocked because it's really hard to actually unlock it on camera. It would shake everything. So here is the watch. Inside you have padding, obviously. You also get your warranty card, your warranty information, and then a sticker. But right here is a second slot for watches. So they're giving you a case that is very useful. And then of course they're giving you a second slot so that if you actually do use this for traveling, you have some place to put a second watch. You also have a place to put a bracelet or straps. You could pull that out and put in items into there, whatever you want. Maybe even a passport, which is pretty cool because it's actually pretty deep and it would fit a passport. Here's the watch, and like I said, this is a Unimatic. It is the chronograph. It's their UC3. It's from their classic line. So the classic line from Unimatic are basically their standard watches that are always available. So if you go to their website, these are available for purchase. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I've never featured one on my channel. Every time I have gone to purchase one, they have sold out. Now they make a few different versions of their watches now. They make Swiss versions and then they make Japanese powered versions. This is one of the Japanese powered versions. This gets a Seiko movement. It is the VK64. So that means this is a Meca-quartz powered chronograph. It gets a stainless steel case. You have screwed in pushers, a screwed in crown. That crown is about 8 millimeters big. It is huge. I love the crown. It's also signed with the Unimatic logo. Very simplistic logo. They have a very Bauhaus design, but it's really robust. They do a great job. That's why they're so popular. These watches are extremely popular because their design is really good. You have that sterile bezel that is aluminum, and then you have a black matte dial with slightly patinaed lume. And it's not really very patinaed at all. It's a little bit patinaed. And then you have sub-registers, so it's a bi-compax layout. And then at the bottom of the dial, right above that 6 o'clock index, it just says Unimatic. That's the name of the brand, obviously. Made in Italy, 300 meters, water resistance, and then classic. That's it. And like I said, that classic, I believe, means that it's part of their classic lineup. Now you can see that bezel is sterile. That's kind of one of their looks. If I ever bought one of their watches, it would be with this sterile bezel. Now, it's not as useful as a bezel that has markings on it, but I think it looks amazing, and it looks amazing on this watch. Sounds really good too. 120 click bezel. Feels really good and sounds great. Everything does line up. Really nice. And then you have this big crown. That's another sort of design cue of Unimatic. All of their watches have very big crowns, and a lot of their watches do have this sort of sterile bezel, but some of them do have markings on their bezels as well because, obviously they're more useful that way. The indices are painted on. Those are filled with lume. The hands are filled with lume as well. There's lume on the second hand. We will do a lume shot towards the end. There is pretty good lume on here. I believe it's Superluminova C3 in sort of a pale green color. And obviously the case itself, it's real tool watch look to it. You have brushing and bead blasting throughout the entire case. They put this on a black NATO strap. This is Unimatic's straps, so it just says Unimatic right there on the buckle. It's a really thick NATO strap. It is a double pass-through. I'm not a huge fan of double pass-through NATO straps, but I think this kind of warrants one because this is a real tool looking watch, except for the bezel, of course, which is more stylistic than tool, but I get what they're going for here, so they put it on a nylon NATO strap. Really good looking. Let's do quick measurements. So this is around, I believe, 41 millimeters at the case, I want to say, or is it exactly at 41 millimeters? Oh no, 40 millimeters, there you go. But at the bezel, I think you're going to get around 41 millimeters. So there you go. The lug to lug, obviously, the lug to lug, this is not on a strap that will wear like that, but it is a 50 millimeter lug to lug. You do have a NATO strap, so it will hang over a little bit more than that. And then you have this giant crown, one of my favorite features of this watch, almost 8 millimeters. That is awesome. And then, of course, thickness on here. It is a chronograph, and it is 300 meters of water resistance, so 13.8 millimeters. That is really good. That's including the slightly raised, domed sapphire crystal. And the hands themselves are sort of segmented fence post hands. They have a black center, which I really like. Again, it goes with the look of this watch, sort of a black and stainless steel look. So you have a very black and white look to it. Looks great in my opinion. Everything screws down, as I mentioned. So if you want to engage or disengage the chronograph, you have to unscrew both crowns and both pushers, excuse me, and then you can do so. Really not bad though, when you're considering. There you go. Stop it, restart it. So you do have a nice sweep to the second hand of the chronograph. That's really it. All in all, it feels like a really well-made watch in my hands. I believe these are going for around $700 on their website. So that's what these go for, $700. If you want one, definitely check out the link down in the description. They currently have these in stock over at Huckberry. Now, very quickly, let me show you a watch that I have on my wrist. I'll throw this on my wrist, and then we will do a quick loom shot. Today, I have on a Shinola. This is also a watch that was lent into the channel by Huckberry. This is a dive watch that they make. It's a Swiss automatic. I believe it's called the Monster, Lake Huron, or something like that. Just a really cool watch. Also really well made. I believe this has got a Swiss movement inside. Obviously, Shinola, a US company, but they're using Swiss movements in there. This is made in Italy, it says it on the dial. I'm not sure exactly what components are made in Italy. Obviously, the movement is not, but perhaps the case is. I'm not entirely sure of that, and I really couldn't find that much information. They've been around since 2015, and they've always had that made in Italy on their dial, so they're pretty proud of that. I believe it might be assembled in Italy. It definitely is assembled in Italy. I'm not sure what components are actually made in Italy. So very quickly, let me throw it on my wrist. I have a 7.5 inch wrist, and this is a 41 millimeter watch. On that NATO strap, it does wear thicker. So that is something to keep in mind, but I believe they do have alternatives on their website. So if you are interested in this watch, you could definitely switch out the strap very easily because you have a standard lug width. I believe it is 22 millimeters. So you can go and buy a 22 millimeter strap or even a bracelet, because I believe they do have a bracelet option for this watch. And I think it's sort of an oyster style bracelet, but there it is on my 7.5 inch wrist. You can see it's a really good looking watch that feels really well made. It does sit a little bit higher because of that NATO strap. So like I said, I would probably get this on the bracelet if that is available. If not, I would buy it on the NATO and then put on like a distressed black leather strap. I think that would look phenomenal on here. Maybe even like a canvas strap, maybe like a green canvas strap, something like that. Pretty cool. So it's 41 millimeters at the bezel, 40 millimeters at the case. Obviously it wears a little bit bigger than that. Wears like a 41.5 millimeter watch because of that bezel. So that's it. And I have a 7.5 inch wrist. Very quickly, a loom shot. So there you go. C3 Superluminova on here. You have a loomed pip. You can see right there. And then you have, of course, indices which are printed on. The hands are very liberally applied with loom, and then you have a little bit of lume on the counterbalance, that little lollipop counterbalance on the second hand. Really nicely applied and very, very bright, especially on the hands. The indices are a little bit lighter applied than the hands and second hand. There you go. Tell me what you guys think down in the description below. Like I said, these are extremely popular watches. People go crazy over these when they are released. And there's a really good reason. They're really good looking and they're really well made. I think that's two things that are very important when you're buying a watch. So there you go. I can't argue with that. Tell me what you guys think down in the description below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel and I very much appreciate it. It helps me bring you these videos. So please, the easiest way to support the channel is to hit that like button and subscribe if you have not. Anyway, thank you guys. Check out the link in the description below if you are interested in this watch or any watches that obviously Huckberry offer. There's plenty of other stuff that they offer as well, so check out their website. Thank you for logging on. I will catch you guys in the next video.